Okay, I am currently in Lagos State, Ekpe, Nigeria. I'm consulting for Beluga Farms. This is a greenhouse that farms pepper, green pepper, and this company is quite doing great when it comes to greenhouse and irrigation farming. And I must commend them for their resilience and also their witty in terms of improving food security in Nigeria and Africa as large. I am so happy to be part of this project because this is something that we started like joke, and here we are. This project started this year, and by the grace of God, this is where we are. We have about 7 greenhouses here, and you can see how neat the environment is looking. So yes, we're not just talking about farming, we're also trying to also inculcate precision farming, the right quantity of input for the right output. So you have to really invest to get what you want. There is the CEO of Beluga Farms, Mr. Manuel Adoga, and his agronomist. So it's quite very insightful. I came all the way from Abuja for this project, and yes, we're trying to see how we can support the government as well and improve the production of food in Nigeria. Staying at home and complain about government is not what we are looking at. We're looking at how we can be productive as young people to support our country in terms of food production. And I'm so proud to be part of this project. We're not just going to have this, we're also going to replicate this in some part of the country. It's a vision that is going to be continual by the grace of God. Thank you, listeners.
My name is Samisi Yusuf, the agronomist, senior agronomist for Beluga Farms, Agbora here in Lagos State. You're welcome to our farm.
Okay, that's great, Mr. Yusuf. You're doing a great job. Since I came, I've been going around the farm. I can see what a great prototype of a greenhouse farming should look like. And I must commend you for your job. So far, what is the yield like in this farm?
On average, we've been trying to attain an average of 3 kg per plant. So far, that has been our target towards to 4, but I can say that we're on course. That goes great. We've been having some challenges, especially insect attack. But there is no way you go into the commercial production of vegetables, hybrid vegetables, that you don't have challenges of pests. But the most important thing is that you're up and doing, to be able to combat it through pragmatic and corrective measures.
Okay, that's great. One of the quality of a great leader is the ability to work with team.
Yeah.
So how have you been managing your team to achieve this goal?
Via God's grace, I can say that it's been interesting, and especially it's not a one-man job. That's to start with. You need God to grace you with a very good team, starting from the management. And no matter how skilled you are, if you have the resources, if you don't have the support of the management, it will be a very big challenge. But I can say that every individual has their own respective characteristics. You get. So the most important thing is that you are able to observe, everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and harmonize it together, and where need be, come down to their level and support. You get, and so as to have, a team in harmony that can deliver results. So basically, with the support of the management, the staff, and even the neighborhood, we've been able to achieve great success so far.
That's great. So, how much can you say you make from this farm?
Currently,
so far,
we are heading towards our target, but for now, I can say that we are close to the average, timeline, and our account department will be able to give you more in terms of figures. You get, so you'll be able to get something more because I don't want to give you something in terms of figures.
I understand.
But I believe by the time you meet with the account department, you're able to get the precise figures. But I can tell you that so far, by God's grace, we are on course. And
okay, so where? Okay.
Fresh
it's so fresh. It's so fresh. It's so fresh. So where are we hoping to see Beluga in the next 5 years?
I can
Beluga
tell you
Farms?
that in the next 2 years, for a start, Beluga is looking at not just doing the same old stereotype of greenhouse farming, just conventional greenhouse farming, and but Beluga is targeting food security with health, quality in life. You get, it's not just about coming on board and doing what everybody's doing, but you must be able to look at what everybody's doing and bring in more value. Because at the end of the day, food security is not just about quantity; it's also about quality. And that's one of the things Beluga Farms is looking at in terms of trying to integrate organic agriculture and also precision agriculture. Agriculture in this part of the world has relies heavily on inorganic system of practices. And Beluga Farms being very conscious of quality of life. We're trying to look at how we can reduce the dependence on inorganic system of agriculture and integrate more of organic. We to be realistic, it's not 100% achievable for now because of the current level of technology we have globally. Okay, but we believe where there is a will, there is
There's
a
a
way.
way.
And if we are intentional about, as we've continue to be, especially with the collaboration of the management, I'm optimistic in the next two years. Beluga is bringing a lot of new things, into not just food production, but precisely, producing healthy and quality vegetables for Nigerians.
Okay, that's actually very great vision. Talking about precision farming, it caught my attention because we are gradually shifting towards the average local farming to precision farming where technology is taking place. And so I want you to give me like a hint of your adoption of
Okay.
precision farming. Like how far has the management look into it as what they should invest?
Okay.
Yeah.
To start with, when you talk about precision farming, it's not much of too much grammar. It's just all about using the right quantity to get the maximum possible result. You get, and starting with that, one of the things we adopt here is we ensure good plant population. Okay, it is one thing to have plant; it's another thing to have plant you can manage. So we ensure that we don't overstock our greenhouses to start with. Then, secondly, we ensure that the chemicals we are using, we don't overdose and underdose. You understand? And subsequently, our routines too. We also ensure that we incorporate bio measures, biocontrol measures. So we ensure that good hygiene around the farm. Then, when it comes to resources, we ensure that we manage in respect to what is needed, and not just maybe because it is available. So those are some of the things, and some other things that might not be readily available at the moment in terms of breakdown that might take our time. But one of the things
in a more mechanized way, but with less capital. You understand? That's for
Yeah.
me. That is what I'm trying to achieve. Like now,
With the Beluga Farms.
these structures that we are using ions.
Yeah.
I want to use bamboos. More sophisticated bamboos that will enable more farmers to come into greenhouse agriculture without spending so much as upfront and capital. So that's the whole purpose of what we are doing here.
Okay, so do you intend to replicate this same in this same area? Do you want to replicate? Do you want to expand? Do you intend to do that?
Of course,
Okay.
yes, of course. In fact, we have about 21 acres already in some parts of in Ibadan
Okay.
that we intend to also expand our next greenhouse farms, and there we are
Okay.
looking at starting with the bamboo structures.
Okay. So have you been able to access any funding
No, not yet. We've been
from any international grant
not yet. Everything
with all
is-
you're doing? So this is personal.
Yes.
Wow,
yes,
this
yes,
is
yes.
great.
This has been
This is
personal
great.
efforts from day one. We hope that we get some kind of help from the government, from international bodies that are interested in agriculture in Africa, because what we are looking at here is to how we can reduce food scarcity in Africa. That is the whole goal.
That's great.
Encourage
So
more people to come into farming, into agriculture. So change the mindset about agriculture, especially for the young people, so they will know that agriculture is not just for the old people. It's not only about crude means, but you can do it in a more sophisticated and mechanized way.
wow, that's
But
great.
the most important thing is also how we can reduce costs while maximize efficiency.
Wow, that's
So
great.
that's the whole essence of what we are
You're
doing.
doing a very great job, sir. Okay, I want to also ask, so far, how has been the yield? What has been the output from what you are doing here?
Oh well, The year has been good, but I mean we can always improve. We can do better, and that is the whole essence of what we are doing. So we are not just farming; we are also incorporating and research into our farming, or trying to improve and try to see how we can use technology to improve what we are doing,
Okay, that's
and
great.
also working on sustainability and also see how we can reduce the use of synthetic chemicals and all this, so and introduce more organic means of growing our products. So that's what we are trying to do here.
Well done, sir. I must commend your good job here in
Thank
Lagos,
you.
and we also look forward to have you in the north,
Mhm.
where you can invest and also bring investors as well, because the farming is kind of capital intensive. With the kind of what you're doing here, I think we can do more. And if there's government funding, if there's international bodies come in, I believe we're going to still make more yield from
Of
what you're
course,
doing here.
of course. So
Thank you so
imagine
much, sir.
imagine a country like Netherlands that have very little space, but they are like one of the biggest suppliers of producers of vegetables and other
Wow.
agro
Wow.
commodities in the world. So in Nigeria that has so much expanse of land, what are we doing? And we are still importing so much, so many food. Even what I'm producing here, bell pepper, we still import some
Hmm.
of these things.
Hmm.
And these are something that we can grow and even export, but yet we are still importing. So that's the whole essence of what we are trying to do. We are trying to see how we can reduce food scarcity, increase farmers, income and um, and accessibility to agricultural input and all those. That's what we are trying to do.
Hmm. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
And
I'm
welcome.
so proud to be part of Beluga Farms.